Just now, NASA releases news. They announced Erie rover on Mars. It is possible that traces of ancient life. Is it in my lifetime? Can we really see alien civilizations? This time in a place that was once considered a lake. Some very special rocks were collected. These rocks look a lot like a kind of fossil, but it's not a dinosaur bone. It's not a trilobite. More like billions of years domestic ago. Waste left by a group of microbes. Yes, you heard that right. Perhaps as early as billions of years. Perhaps leaving a unique chemical imprint on the rock. On Earth, this trace almost direct evidence of microbial activity. The instruments currently on board the possibility of natural formation is you have to do it naturally. It requires very high detectable result display. These rocks have never been heated or baked, so this trace left at room temperature. The most reasonable explanation is what life leaves behind. NASA scientists say this is the strongest evidence yet, but to give the final answer, must bring these rocks back to Earth using state-of-the-art microscopes in surface laboratories. Primordial isotope analyzer, the study of one atom at a time to solve this mystery. But here's the big problem. The Martian sample, responsible for retrieving the sample, now it's abandoned due to actuarial deficiencies. And otherwise multi-billion-dollar It's in project. The tens of billions. That is to say, these samples could change human history. Now lying alone on Mars. Can't wait for the human to send it home. But while NASA is still worried about China's Tianwen-3 plan, a timetable has been set. Departure in 2028. Bring Mars rocks back to Earth in 2030. However, even if we find Martian life, there was intelligent life before. We didn't find it. Scientists have several times. Extraterrestrial life is all around us. It's just that they don't look the way we think they do. May have been countless times. Passed them by. I just didn't recognize it at all. Imagine you're looking for fossils in a riverbed. If you don't know what a fossil is, he is just an ordinary stone to you. The discovery of Mars may be human. The first lesson in learning to understand the universe. 1.40 billion kilometers away from us that may be quietly harboring life. This is Titan, Saturn's largest moon, also known as Titan. It has a thick atmosphere. There are rivers like the Earth, lakes and oceans, except it's made of liquid methane and composed, that is to say, what you breathe, there is basically natural gas. Back in 1997, Cassini launched by Europe and NASA, and I set out with a lot of human curiosity. Flying for 8 years. January 2005. Huygens probe passes through that rich atmosphere. It landed for almost 2 hours. Finally let humans. For the first time, I saw the true nature of this mysterious planet. There are pebbles on the surface that have been initialized by the meanders. There are traces of methane everywhere. Although that was only blurred photos taken by digital cameras, but he proved one thing, and Titan is very much like the early Earth. The scientists later did an experiment in the Atacama Desert on Earth, simulating the environment of Titan. It turns out that at temperatures in the -170 some organic children can assemble themselves into complex structures. This means Titan may give birth to a completely fake life. If life on Earth was born because of water on Mars, maybe we'll get a natural gas life. For this, NASA built a vehicle called Dragonfly. It's about the size of an SUV. It has 8 propellers. Looks like a giant flying drone. Titan's gravity is only 14% similar to the Moon, but the atmosphere is 4 times super fit to fly. So Dragonfly can be a star is like a real dragonfly. In the dunes ice field, they go up and down these canyons. Go to different locations to search for signs of life. Due to the fact that Titan's atmosphere is a complete failure of solar energy, NASA equipped him with a nuclear battery. It will keep him in a stable job for several years. Dragonfly is expected to launch in 2034. Once safely landed, Dragonfly will embark on a 3-year adventure, explore 24 locations, drill holes to remove ice and methane soil, laser instrument analysis of molecular traces of life. Then his main goal. It's a place called Sulk Crater. Scientists there might have been an asteroid impact there, mixing groundwater with organic matter, likely to give birth to life. In other words, that this could be the perfect habitat for alien life. There is a point of view. Someone once said that Mars could be the home of humanity, although a bit mythical. But as scientists probe again, people are increasingly skeptical. Mars is more than just a desolate red planet. It really could be where humans once lived. Mars is the closest planet to Earth, although the surface is barren like sand, a desert, but it's not hot. The average temperature is -60 degrees Celsius, -130 degrees Celsius. Its gravity is only 1/3, and the tallest mountain on Mars Mount to 27,000 That's 3 times the size of Everest. If placed on Earth, can directly puncture the atmosphere. The Mariner 9 probe in 1971 riverbeds on the surface of Mars and initializing trace people discovered the sailor stock. It's 4,000 kilometers if the amount of water in it is enough to flood the entire Amazon basin. And here's what's really amazing. Are still a huge ice lake has been detected. It is speculated that there may be liquid water is essential for life. American Pathfinder. We found 2% methane in the atmosphere. This is no small matter, because the methane comes either from microbial metabolism. But so far, the volcano that means there might actually be life on Mars. Plus, humans have discovered quartz in Martian rocks. Requires water and volcanic activity. Piece together clues. Almost all point to an answer. Mars may indeed have been suitable for life in the past. But why now? Mars has become a desolate Death Star. Scientists in the Martian atmosphere, radioactive element was discovered. First 129. This element is extremely difficult, but it will appear after the nuclear explosion. The Cydonia region in the northern hemisphere there may have been a supernuclear explosion. The power is equivalent to hundreds of thousands of nuclear bombs. The disappearance of the Martian civilization explanation. They may have been in ancient times. A devastating war broke out. And here's what's amazing. In 1976, Viking captured a 3 kilometers. No matter how you look at it, it looks like manual. Later next to him, a group of pyramid-shaped mountains was discovered again. It is highly similar to the Egyptian pyramids, even corresponding to the constellation Orion. If it's not a coincidence, what does that mean? Could it be that between ancient Egypt there is some kind of civilizational connection? No wonder many ancient civilizations Mars is always at war. Death is closely linked. Scientists deduce 300 million years ago, Mars the ocean atmosphere had long-time coevolution of life. It can be seen from the first 129 isometric 1 billion that is to say, Mars may have been written 1 billion years ago. Has even mastered far more technology than humans. If they really existed, will it leave the solar system long even ago? Visited the Earth? Mayan civilization, Sumerian civilization, could the Martian legislature that was left behind be Let me ask you a question. Why is it respected by almost all civilizations? In almost all human civilizations, Mars is regarded as a symbol of war and death. Why one? The red planet is only 55 million kilometers away with so much mystery and awe. A physicist named John Hollenden proposed in Death on Mars. Mars was once highly famous, but it was destroyed in a star-level nuclear This disaster war. Not only destroyed, it also blows away the magnetic field Mars into the desolate Death Star it is today. And here's what's even Russia more has a child, claiming to be a Martian. And he said the Martians are 2 meters tall. It breathes carbon dioxide. Stop aging at 35. He also claims Mars is due to nuclear war. Lost the atmosphere. Some survivors fled to the downtown and himself, because his spaceship finally turned to Earth. It sounds like science fiction. But this is the Martian boy. Exhibited extraordinary knowledge and memory. Many scientists have been puzzled. However, in addition to mysterious legends, some hard evidence in 1996, a meteorite from Mars has been suspected ancient bacteria traces left behind. Some research groups even suggest this meteorite contains magnetite and similar structures. It is usually made by microorganisms. This means that in ancient times, there might have been microbial life on Mars. In addition to scientific data, there are also a lot of mysterious photos circulating on the surface of Mars. They look like scratches from a crash landing. Mars Gate, a square cave photographed by the Curiosity looks like rover. The entrance to some kind of cave, a monument to the Martian moon Phobos. Looks like an imprint of ancient Egyptian culture. Mars enthusiasts firmly these are the remains of a prehistoric civilization. Well, if humanity continues to future Earth, will it also become a second Mars? Perhaps all kinds of bizarre events. Perhaps it was early humans who left behind the matter. Reminder.